Greetings, my fellow humanoid dwellers. I create videos on technology and other random things. If you like this video, you might like others. If you don't like this video, you still might like others. Consider subscribing to my channel or checking out my Patreon page. If you already subscribe, hit that bell. Today we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. We're going to change my computer or laptop to DHCP from a currently configured static IP address, and change the Raspberry Pi from a 192.168.0 address to a 192.168.1 address. We're going to change the password from Raspberry to password, or you can set it to wherever you want. And the reason we're doing all of this is because my home router is set up as DHCP and it's set up as 192.168.1.1. If you remember, we want the first three spots in the address to be the same, the 192.168.1. The last number, the .1 at the end, or the .230, or the .10, those we want to be different. We're going to start by changing the password. We're going to go to PuTTY and log in using the old IP address that we had set up from the original tutorial of 192.168.0.10. We're going to log in with username Pi and password Raspberry. Once in, the command to change the password is PASSWD, not the word password. The first thing you have to do is enter the old password or the current password, and then enter the new password, and then it's going to ask you to verify it. Then we're going to go ahead and shut down the Raspberry Pi and then restart it just to test, just to make sure that we got it correctly. When you go to shut down, you must type the word sudo first. You can see that I made a mistake. Now we're going to go back into the Raspberry Pi and see if we entered it correctly. Now we're going to go into Nano and alter the file we did in the first tutorial to change the IP address to the one that we want. If you remember how to use Nano, you just use the arrows to scroll around. We're going to scroll down to the static IP address, and we're going to add a 1. But remember that I want to make it a high number so it doesn't conflict with any that the DHCP hands out. Since it's going to hand out lower numbers, I feel safe to make it 230. We're also going to change the default gateway to 1, and we're going to change the DNS to 1. The 24 is what we use for the subnet mask. If you remember right in the other examples, it was 255.255.255.0. Well, sometimes you'll see it denoted as a slash after the static IP address, and what each 255 is an 8. So if it was 16, if it was a slash 16, it would be 255.255.0.0. If it was a slash 8, it would be 255.0.0.0. But the slash 24 means 255.255.255.0. Now you're going to hit Control-O to save your work, and then you'll hit enter to give you the message wrote 57 lines. Then you'll hit Control-X to leave. Then we're going to go ahead and shut down. The changes will not be made just by saving the file. The changes are made once you restart the Raspberry Pi. So we're going to go ahead and shut down, and then we'll go ahead and restart the Raspberry Pi. Now we're going to go back into PuTTY and see if we can log in. I don't have to worry about setting the IP address on the laptop anymore because it will set DHCP. As long as I have the same subnet and the same network portion of my IP set in the Raspberry Pi, I should automatically get it through the DHCP, and it should be able to log in just fine. So from now on, I won't have to worry about a static IP address in the laptop. It appears that everything is working. I had a user request to show how to change the root password for the MySQL database. I did some research on this, and I checked doing it through the phpMyAdmin web interface, and I did not have good luck in a smooth way to do it. So the best way to do it is to go in and use PuTTY and log into the Raspberry Pi through an SSH connection, and then enter the SQL interface using the sudo mysql command. So first we're going to go ahead and log in using the current password. We're going to change the password to hello world. Then we're going to log out. Then we're going to log back in using the hello world password again and change it back to password. I'm going to leave mine at password going forward because I will not be using a live system for this. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to copy and paste from the sheet that I have. You can see that I've logged in, and now I'm going to set the password to hello world. I started this portion of the tutorial already logged in, so you will have to SSH in. Hopefully that was clear from a previous example. Now we're going to go over to phpMyAdmin and log in using the new password just to make sure that we can. And I was successfully logged in using hello world. Now I'm going to log out. We're going to log back in using password just to make sure now that that one doesn't work, and it does not work. Now I'm going to log back in to MySQL on the console, and we're going to change the password back to password. Now we'll verify that it works, and that's how you change the password under the MySQL login. And that completes this video. Thanks for watching.